What if I told you there was a way to make the most boring, frustrating aspects of your day with your kids fun and enjoyable and easy? Welcome. I am Mary Peterson Cook with Mary Peterson Cook Ventures, and I am here to help you break those generational traumas and learn to parent from a place of connection and acceptance and have more effective communication so you can get those things done without feeling like you're losing your mind all the time. So, this month in my Parenting from Connection community, we are looking at my Gaining Cooperation Through Connection training. And we have weekly challenges breaking it down into simple, easy ways to use connection to help gain that cooperation. Now, we're not forcing the cooperation. We're not even expecting that it's definitely going to be done all the time because let's be real, kids never do things all the time. So, this is a way for us to make life easy and fun and peaceful in our home while still getting the things done that need to get done. So, today I want to talk just briefly about some ways that you can add connection to some of the most frustrating aspects of your day. Things like transitions, brushing teeth, getting ready for bed, getting shoes on, those kinds of things. Because let's be real, going from playing a video game, watching a show, reading a book, playing with our Legos, drawing a picture, playing with friends, none of that is something that an adult, never mind a child, would want to stop to go do something boring like brushing our teeth and getting ready for bed when all the fun stops, right? So I want you to think about some of the most frustrating aspects of your day. I'm going to go with one that used to be a really, really frustrating aspect of my day. Brushing my kids' teeth. Let me tell you, I don't know about you, but when my child was a toddler, it was like trying to brush a baby alligator's teeth. There were rolls. There was kicking. There was turning the head back and forth, and there was screaming and growling like a baby alligator. It was rough, y'all. Like, connection definitely was not to be had there, and I made a lot of mistakes for the fear of, if I don't make him do this, he's going to have cavities, lose teeth, any number of things, right? And I want to be a good mom. I want my kid to have good hygiene. That was important. But for one, I need to let go some of that fear, because when you have fear, that's when you lead with control instead of connection. So release those fears and think about, what is the end goal? The goal is for him to learn how to brush his teeth, right? And to have clean teeth and to learn how to do this habit. But it's not a habit yet. We have to get there. So by releasing the fears of, I'm going to ruin his teeth, and for one go, okay, well, these are baby teeth, and he's just not there yet. So how can I help get him there? And we scaffold that, starting with just 5 seconds. So I use my little logic on him. I have a projector, a 1-3 projector, and he's all about logic and reasoning. And if I can provide that to him, then oftentimes he'd go with the flow. But that was definitely not happening in this case, especially when he's like 3 years old. And so I started with just like, okay, just give me 5 seconds, okay? 5 seconds, and then that's it. That's all I want from you. And we would like push through the 5 seconds, and I would just be like, 1, 2. Luckily, he had no idea what a second was at that point. And then I realized connection. This is not fun for anyone. How can I make this more fun and easy and enjoyable while still teaching him? So one of the biggest ways that you can add connection, that you can add fun and make it educational, is through singing. Kids love songs. Adults love songs. Even your teenagers, even though they're totally going to think it's cringe. Is that still a word? I don't know. I feel like I'm aging myself. Uh, Even teenagers will find this funny deep down. Maybe not out loud, but deep down. And so this is an awesome skill to have, is to make things a song. Now there's a couple different ways you can do this. One, when you want to yell, sing. Whenever it is you want to yell something, sing it instead. This is a great scaffold for you as you're learning to become more responsive versus reactive, because it releases the same energy, but you're doing it in a kind way, a kinder way, a not so scary way, and you're retraining your brain. And let's be real, it's really hard to be scared of somebody who's singing at you. It's just funny. I mean, maybe if you did it in a death metal way, but I think my kid would even like that. So just sing it. So for example, your kid's not getting ready for bed and you want to I told you to get ready for bed. Go before you want to do it like that, right? Be like, I told you to get ready. So at this point, obviously there's more effective ways of communication, but when you sing it, it's easier, right? You're not having to rethink what you need to say yet. You'll get there. We'll get you there. But right now you're just focusing on not yelling it. So by singing it, for one, it kind of stops them in their track. Like, wait, what's going on? What? So then they're actually listening. And two, it's retraining your brain to not yell. So that's one way. But the more fun way is to make songs up. So I'm going to share one song with you that I started using, 3-4 years ago. Around that time we were having the baby alligator issues. And to this day, my son can totally, he's 7 now, he can totally brush his teeth all on his own. He doesn't need help anymore. Let me preface that by saying it was a work in progress and we scaffolded a lot to get there. But he can definitely do it by himself now. But man, does he love this song. There's just something about brushing his teeth with mommy singing this song. He doesn't even need me to brush his teeth to do it, though sometimes he does like that. But by me singing this, he just thinks it's hilarious and he loves it. And it makes the chore of brushing teeth so much more enjoyable. So I'm going to sing this song. Please remember that I have an old teaching voice. It is not to singing quality anymore. But your kid doesn't care. You can literally crack your voice every half a second and your kid won't care because it's so enjoyable. Though I will say it's probably easier to start younger and then, they have that kind of internally built in as a love. And then as they get older, teens are always going to think you're cringe. So just do it. So this is the song I developed to help my son, A, enjoy brushing his teeth, but 2, learn how to brush his teeth and give him enough time to get it done. So, are you ready? You don't have to use the song exactly as is, but you're more than welcome to. This is just something I came up with it off the top of my head. It's to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, so it's super simple. Ready? Brush, brush, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. Brush, brush, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. You brush them in the morning, brush them in the evening. Brush, brush, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. You brush the fronts and backs, you brush the fronts and backs. Brush, brush, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. You brush the tops and bottoms, brush the tops and bottoms. Brush, brush, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. You brush the gums and tongue, you brush the gums and tongue. Brush, brush, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. He loves that last part. He literally waits for that last part. He thinks it's hilarious to go really high. He'll take his toothbrush out and do it. It's super cute. And it works. And so it hits all of those things. How can I connect with him? We're having a joyful moment together. How can I teach him how to do the activity? And how can I make it funny? Because kids love funny. And you are going to get so much more cooperation when you make it enjoyable instead of making it this checklist item. And I mean, I get it because my brain works like that too. I want to just check it off my list. Go get ready for bed. Check. Right? I don't want to have to sit here and like work through it with you because in my brain, I've got 20 million things to do, and having to stop what I am doing to help you do your thing is a lot of work. We have to remember that these are kids. And we are setting the stage for how they view these activities into adulthood. If we want kids that grow up enjoying these aspects of their life, we need to make sure that they have that base experience with us. So whenever you're having one of these frustrating moments, and I'm not talking like it's always peachy keen. There are definitely times where I look at my kid and I'm like, hey, I hear that you want me to do this with you. However, I need to finish X, Y, and Z before I can read that book to you. So I need you to take care of this to give me time to finish what I need so that we can then do this together. It is about balance. It is never going to be, yes, I connect with him every single time, all the way. I mean, awesome. That would be great if you can, but let's be realistic. I own 2 businesses. My husband owns a business. We are still adults living in a space that needs cleaned and have cooked food and walk dogs and all the things. So I can't just be there all the time to do all the little things with him. And that's okay. You can connect really fast. Take, for example, getting dressed for bed. Sometimes my son, I just ask him to do it. Other times, I help him. And this is the kind of the compromise that we made when we started this. I shouldn't say started. When we got to the point where he was ready for this aspect of things, is that the morning time, he needed to do it all on his own. And then in the evening time, if he needed help, I would help him. And so what that looks like now is I ask him to get his clothes. And then if he brings them to me, because I'm usually trying to finish something up before bedtime, just in case I fall asleep, because I often do. And I'll take it and I'll turn it inside out for him. And then we might just do how quickly can we get this on? Or I'll take his shirt and I'll just do a quick whoosh over and like make a sound like that. And like trap his arms in there and like giggle and laugh with him. It takes me 10 seconds. 10 seconds to connect, make it fun, and get it done. And then he'll put his arms through the shirt and move about his day. So these little acts of connection to help you gain the cooperation, they do not have to be long, drawn out things, right? It doesn't mean you have to like sit down with them, read a whole story, color a whole page. Not that there's anything wrong with those. They have their places. But when we are talking about these frustrating aspects of our day that are supposed to take 10 seconds but end up taking 10 minutes, you're not sitting there reading a book, or you're not sitting there wanting to color a picture. I will say, though, if you find yourself getting in all these little arguments, try just having short, or even like short chapter books or something where it's just a few pages. Short little books lying around, or even like a children's encyclopedia, if they like that. My kids he loves the science encyclopedias and things. Try having some of those lying around, and anytime you feel like you're starting to get into an argument, just sit down and read a short page, a paragraph. See what it does. I would be really intrigued. Try it and come back to the comments and let me know how it goes. For any of these ideas, please try them, come back to the comments and let me know how it goes. So as you go through this, my big thing for you is to think about, okay, What is it that I'm struggling with? What aspect of our day tends to be consistently frustrating? And then ask yourself a few things. One, is this an age appropriate, and not even just age appropriate, a ability appropriate expectation? Because just because you have a 7-year-old doesn't mean they are at the stage personally, individually, where they're ready for that. They might need some scaffolding. And so that's the second thing. What scaffolding do they need? If this expectation is not being met consistently, then that means we need to do something else. And part of that might just be connection. They might be really resisting the being told to do things because it feels like their whole life is just being told to do things. I mean, think about it as a parent and the constant, I want a snack. I need a snack. Will you do this? Can you get that? That wears on us as adults who are responsible for them and doing those things for them when they had not yet able to do that themselves, right? So imagine how much more exhausting it is for your kid who's constantly being told to stop whatever it is they're doing and finding enjoyment in to go do what you need them to do. And now I'm not saying that of course you need them to get their shoes on to go grocery shopping. I'm not saying walk around your kids' activity, just be mindful if that's what's going on. When you realize that that's what it is, you can empathize, which is a great aspect of doing this as well. When you realize, oh man, I just totally made my kid give up something he's enjoying to go do something not so enjoyable. How can I help him through that? Make it enjoyable. How can you add a moment of connection? If it's getting the shoes on, and of course, again, it's going to depend on age, right? Your teenager is going to have a very different expectation than your 2-year-old. Even your 10-year-old. There's just different expectations if they're neurodivergent, whatever. But you know your kid and what they find enjoyable. Maybe it's literally just sitting there and doing it together. Being like, hey, let's get our shoes on together. Maybe it's just making a funny puppet with your shoe or your sock for 5 seconds. And this is the thing that I really wish so many people would understand, my husband included, is that if you stop barking orders all the time and you just take a second or two to connect and do something silly and lighthearted, those walls often come breaking down and they are more willing to come join your journey with you. So as you go through your day in these really frustrating moments, pause, think through, is this appropriate expectation? What help do they need in this? And how can I make this more enjoyable? Not just for them, but for you too. And finally, you could ask yourself, though this is a completely different topic, is there another way to communicate this need? If you need help with this or you are ready to take these challenges with us, please come and join us in the Parenting from Connection community. We would love to have you there. We keep things light and easy as much as possible, and there's never any drama or judgment. We are all starting where we're at and working towards getting where we want to go. And that often, always, includes mistakes. So come join us, get even more ideas, more little tiny challenges to help you progress and not feel so overwhelmed. That's what we're about. The link will be in the description below. Hope to see you there.